of agreeing with these guys and maybe seeing something third person shooting, maybe something like a Metroid type thing that they went for. I don't know. Like, I think like something similar, like have some type of a grasp on it already, but like definitely, I think they should go for something a little different. Try and make it so it diversifies from Halo a little bit.
Okay. Scalbar, what do you want to see?
Well, I guess I would mostly have to agree with Chief here, because although I probably haven't played Halo nearly as much as all of you around here, but I think it would kind of be a good idea.
By the way. You may have beaten me.
Whatever. Point is, I think it would just be a good idea if they were to stray away from like what they're really good at and try to see what they can do with like other types of genres or like whatever.
Yeah.
Like show them that it's like, hey, we're pretty versatile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's some really talented people at Bungie, and I mean, well, I'm sure they, poured their hearts into making the Halo games. I'm sure throughout the whole time they probably came up with a lot of great ideas and different, approaches to gaming that you wouldn't normally see from Bungie. And I'm sure they're going to show that in their next Activision game, and I'm really anxious to see whatever it is that they produce.
It's like a really big turnaround. It's like blowing our mind. Like Halo's gone. Like I've been eating that as long as Cheerios.
We've been talking about a lot of companies that keep milking a brand or whatever, and I think it's good that they're getting out before, while people still want me. You know what I'm saying? Get out.
That's why if I some of my favorite developers are Valve and Bungie, because Bungie just knows when to quit. They know.
I mean, some people would argue that they drove this out. I mean, 10 years.
But
that is big.
But they made good. There wasn't really a.
Yeah, it wasn't like a 10-year
you want more, and you're not even
you're
not even a hardcore Halo fan.
I don't know where I would be, because if we go 5 years forward, and then Halo starts to become outdated, I'd be like, I want another Halo implementation from Bungie to keep up with the new stuff. It's just I mean, Reach will last a while, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be weird seeing that Bungie name attached to something other than Halo.
It's going to be really bizarre.
They do have to be a little careful, though. Kind of what B North was alluding to was, they are a big name company now, and they've produced a very successful game. So they don't have as much leeway with experimentation as, some indie company would, where they're coming up out of nowhere, and they pretty much have whatever they want. Because now they have, they have criteria almost they have to meet. People expect this much of them, so they can't really experiment as much as maybe they want to.
I think now they have more experimentation than they ever had before.
They had more experimentation than before, but as far as just in the grand scale...
But yeah, we don't know what the inner workings is going on with Activision. We've talked about this, but they own all their own stuff.
Yes.
They're being published by them, but I think right now is going to be a really big creative period for Bungie.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're not limited, like you're saying, and they will be somewhat limited. Hopefully they won't be as limited as a lot of other developers are.
Yes.
So hopefully they go through this creative period strong, and they leave it with a franchise, or just even if it's not a franchise chain game, just something that we can really look forward to playing, something we will talk about on the show, and something that'll be on our NPD reports or something. I really just hope we see this coming out of Bungie. Just keep it rolling. We don't need Halo. We're good. That's what I really want to know.
Out of this, I'm hoping to see almost like a gaming revolution, or resolution. No, I was right, revolution. Sorry, dyslexia kicking in. No, but I'm hoping to see out of this, because since you have a big company taking a sharp turn in possibly another direction, I'm hoping to see a revolution come out of this in the gaming market, and seeing a big company making this turn, and maybe whatever they do, it's going to be good. At least good enough to get on an MPD report.
Yeah.
Where it's going to sit, we don't know. But, this much heart and soul and technology being put in something new, and Bungie's always been good with innovating something new. Every game is pretty much done
showing
that.
something different, definitely.
So, whatever they're going to put into it, it's going to be innovative, and you're going to see people are going to copy it, and it's going to be another... Pretty much every time a Halo game came out, everyone copied off of that because they realized, wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about regenerating shield a lot.
Yeah.
But that's just the beginning, because it was regenerating shield, which like
also
changed everything.
Grenade spam. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world, but the concept of not having to switch to grenades,
dual wielding is another thing. That was Halo 2 was like bringing dual wielding.
Which I mean, eventually they
Combining
actually abandoned that themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, even in Halo Reach, it's not even an option.
Yeah.
You know, in Halo 3, it was all about the bubble abilities and their turrets, and that was in Modern Warfare. You know, I mean,
Also,
granted,
Halo 2, a lot of marrying of shooters and melee.
yeah. So I mean, every time there's, and these were just picking out just out of the air elements that we see in these games. But you know, you're gonna leave this show, you're gonna play something. Take a look at what you're playing. Think about how many things came from Bungie, because it's a lot. It's actually frightening. Like, wow.
Yeah, I
did a lot of work for us.
I completely agree. I think you got to look at Bungie and what they did with the first-person shooter genre as a whole, especially on consoles. They completely innovated in so many ways, and they really established such a solid formula for other people to work with. It's really going to be interesting to see what they do, especially if they decide to move into a different genre. I mean, I think like what Twisted was saying, it's going to be a good game. Whatever it's going to be a good game, and with the Bungie name alone, it's probably going to make those MPD reports.
Yeah.
But is it going to do what Halo did to the first-person shooter genre?
Way too early to tell.
I think it's too early to
We
tell,
don't even know what direction they're going.
but I'm really eager to see it because, you know, they're great developers, and I'm excited.
It's time to see what they're made of. Anyway, wrapping up, we got our MPD reports, and they are somewhat incomplete. I'm sorry, my friends, but when they got released, they were not completely done. So,
Lazy bastards.
yeah, I don't know. Whatever happened.
Just Dance still made it.
Yes!
We don't know. We don't
That's
know
what
by how
Bungie
much.
needs to make.
The next DDR.
We don't
But
know
anyway,
by how
yeah.
much.
Yeah, we don't know the numbers. Sometimes this happens where there's someone incomplete, and our revenues and stuff are not on here. So that is just that MPD group did not have them when we released this episode. But I guess we'll start with software. So on the top, Splinter Cell Conviction. I never saw that coming.
Man.
This is
I
for
did
April.
not think it would be
That just kicked. That's
I
just
mean,
kicking everyone's ass.
I am kind of surprised that it sold that well.
I kind of expect this because this was the biggest
And that's on the
release
360.
within that frame of time. I mean, nothing enormous came out during that.
And this
time.
has been selling
Street
well on
Fighter.
Steam, I will say.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big.
I mean,
title.
it's a 360, pretty much exclusive for the consoles, and it's the Splinter Cell franchise. I mean, it's always sold pretty well, but this is extraordinary for.
Well, it's because it's such a deviation from the original
Yeah.
plan. I mean, before Splinter Cell
yeah.
was all about sneaking around and hiding bodies
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that sort of thing. Sounds like me at 12 o'clock at night. But Conviction. But Conviction was this more action-packed thing. Leaving the bodies there, sounding like me at 1 o'clock, and then just killing stuff and moving along and getting shit done.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's great. It's great to see Sam Fisher on there, and that game has been in development for so long. I remember reading about motion capture a year and a half ago.
Well, the thing was they were working on Conviction, and I think even Game Informer had previews of it, and they showed some stuff, and then they pretty much took their formula and threw it out the window. And were like, all right, we have better ideas. We're gonna move in this direction.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they did it because it really is a very, very good game in the franchise, and I think it's probably one of the best ones they've released yet.
It's because of the Ghost Recon beta. That's why it's on there,
Yes,
fools.
the only reason.
I don't think so.
All right. Dropping down the list, we have Pokemon Soul Silver still being declared the better version at 242. This has been a pretty slow month of gaming, unfortunately. But,
It's fully 50,000
I wouldn't
over
say slow.
Heart Gold. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
so I mean, yeah, and if you add
just
those up,
because
it's
silver's
it's way in the millions. Collectively over the past few months. New Super Mario Brothers sitting at number 3. And, the thing about this list is, that's usually down there around, 10 or 15 or something. And it jumps around, but, I just think it's because we just consider that the constant, and it's just we're only our top value is 486, so it's our top value is under 500K. So, I mean, this is the concept of New Super Mario Brothers. I don't want to think of it as number 3.